So, hello everyone, and welcome to the Cosmic Citizen Podcast. This is where we explore conversations for the new human, brought to you in our Spirit Calling community. We're your co hosts. I'm Dina Keenan, for those of you who do not know me.
And I'm Tina Marie Bueno.
So, I don't even know where to start, but there's so much going on in the world. It's an exciting time in the world on this planet, and it's also a very chaotic time on the world. And so, here is where we really bring topics to help us navigate through that and how we ascend into being a new human and a new earth.
Exactly. So we get to explore what does it mean to be a cosmic citizen?
And so each time Tina Marie and I will meet, and for somehow organically topics just come up. And this topic for today was really about intuition for the new human and what does that mean? And it did come up organically, which we'll kind of talk to you about, but it made me think about the last two messages from the council too have all been go rest, you know, rest your mind, sit in your solitude, be with one, create your sacred space. In May, it was about waking up and taking a moment before we get too busy. And to me, it's all about, and I think Tina Marie, it's about being quiet and really starting to listen and knowing we do all have intuition. And I'm going to read a quote that I found the other day that I thought it was really a great quote. It was called, here it is. It's the intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant we have created. And that was done by Albert Einstein many, many, many years ago. But we thought it was really, really apropos.
I love that
Um,
one.
yeah, it just really struck me, and we've said let's just share it with everybody. So, but we're gonna talk about intuition and how we receive it. So we all receive our intuitive hits, our intuitive messages differently if we're paying attention. So, for example, for me, I get like a gut feeling, and if I feel contraction in my gut or chest, I know it's wrong. And if I feel expansion in my heart, I know it's a go. And every time I listen to it, if I listen to the heart and an expansion, it works out great. If I ever go against it, there's always an aha moment. And I will get chills and other things like that too, starting to hear things more too. But it we all have these signals. Tina Marie, what do you get?
First of all, I want to just ask you to clarify a little bit about when you get that no, that one that's like, no, don't do this.
Yeah.
What does that sensation feel like to you?
It to me it's like a tightness. It's like a contraction in my chest versus I'm like expanding. It's very noticeable to me. And I can feel it immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. Or if someone even walks in the room that may be a bit of an unsavory, I feel it.
Yeah.
It's very, very clear. And the more I tune into it, the more I can discern it too.
Okay, I really like that. Thank you. Because I do too. When I have, there's a sensation when it feels negative and it feels like this. I don't even know how to describe it. That's why I was looking for the word from you.
Yeah, it's
But
hard.
in the stomach, it feels real like this movement that just doesn't feel. Um, it feels like like you said, a tightening. It
Mm-hmm.
does. For me, intuition comes in, I think, in a variety of ways. Mostly, so at night, of course, my intuition comes through my dreams,
Mm-hmm.
and during the day, I will get an instant thought that something I wasn't even thinking about, for example, and it'll just kind of pop in, and then I'll realize that I'm getting an intuitive hit. Now, I do channel, so of course, if that information is coming through, then I get that as well. But that information and a message of some sort. But I also get like something will automatically make me turn my head, or
Mm-hmm.
will just make me a sensation I'll get on my arms, for example, that I feel like there's something there that's trying to get my attention,
Yeah.
or something even symbolic will show up for me, like say for example, a bluebird, a blue jay will be there, or um, something very symbolic that will make
Mm-hmm.
me stop for a moment and contemplate, oh, okay, what are you bringing here as far as a messenger is concerned? But it does come in a variety of ways. And I do know that if I don't pay attention to it, it's gone. It's just gone within a second.
It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah. How about anybody else here? What ways are you getting your intuitive messages? Or sometimes your intuition just kicks right in. Dina, you're not.
Rose,
Oh,
I think you were starting to, Rose, you're on mute if you wanted to speak.
That's a really good question. It is, because I have this doubt. Like, for example, an energy comes in and it's one it's odd. It's like, I wish Rita was here, but she's not. And I'm going to tell you how I felt yesterday.
Okay.
We were on the phone and she was talking to me about her twin flame. She told me what the name was, but over the course of about 25 minutes, I didn't remember his name, that he has passed.
Ah,
And all of a sudden she was still talking about him, and then this energy just like filled my whole face. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to keep it like we're not on camera. I'm like, what the, you know, and then I have to go through all the like, are you here for me? I have to get that lingo down. And then I asked, because if it wasn't for me, it's obviously for Rita.
Rita.
And I go, are you Rita's spirit? And then I got the confirmation. I go, it could be a multitude of them, you know. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, obviously we've been talking about her twin flame. And I go, Rita, what is his name again? Derek. And I'm like, are you Derek? I had that sensation, but it just wasn't like strong. You know, I'm waiting for that energy to kind of like twist. And then, after we hung up, over the course of like 5, 6 hours, I'm like, was that? I start doubting, and I'm like,
Yes.
so I'm asking again, my guides, I'm like, was that energy today Rita's? Yes. Was his name Derek? Yes. But I had to go through a course of like all this doubt because I didn't have what you're talking about. And so I know I'm at this, but that was only my girlfriend in Arizona that I was on the phone and it happened.
Interesting. Interesting.
And so if it wasn't, then I was going to be like, oh no, I just got her all excited. And then I have to backstep this
It
whole
takes time.
conversation.
It takes time.
So,
Yeah. So I think you bring up a really, really important point, Rose, and that is about trusting. Once you start trusting, when you second guessing is sort of like the death of intuition. It really puts a block on there, because all of a sudden then there's a filter that you're screening through, but intuition comes through so immediately that you don't even have time to examine, is this true or not? It's almost when it first comes through.
Right.
Later, you can kind of go through a process like that. I would just say, I would just offer a suggestion is keep trusting more and more and allowing more and more. You know, your abilities, your intuition, it gets stronger. It ebbs and flows with you because of
Mm-hmm.
where you are energetically, where you are mentally and emotionally. And so when you just allow yourself to kind of go with that flow, then you'll increase. And sometimes maybe you won't be spot on and sometimes you will. And allow both of those things to help you grow as you listen more to your intuition.
It's so true. And I will tell you, Tina Marie
Thank
and I
you.
worked together for years. I've known Tina before I knew Pamela. And that was, when I started coming into my awakening, Tina Marie would tell me the same thing. You have to trust. And I struggled too, Rose. I was like, was that me or did I just put that in my head? And so I would practice with like first things that come in. And the first thing that comes in, that is what I go with because that to me was the purest energy versus my analytical ego mind saying, well, did I really hear that? Did I really hear? And it's hard. I'm still practicing today and Tina Marie's still telling me to trust today, but it's getting easier, but you will develop your own senses. You all will. And it's just once you know what your body does, or how you react, because overthinking, I think, is the killer.
Yeah.
That's what I
I
found anyway.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else
Yeah, I
before we?
agree with you. I find out for me personally now, I've gone through so much since the 90s when I first met Doreen Virtue, but I
Ah,
find that my clairs are more clear. I like the word trust. My
mm-hmm.
guides tell me the next word is allow and then surrender.
Mm.
And I'm very connected with EP. I don't know how this came about. It came about in the last year because I see them in the house here.
Ah,
When I call, they come and they're very, very, very large and very tall. And I allow them, I welcome them into my house. And I'm getting now the goosebumps that I get when I get the affirmations. It just is all over my scalp. I
I
get
just
it.
got the same thing, Samara, like down. I just got the exact same thing when you
Yeah,
said
well,
that.
they're right behind you right now too,
Oh
because
my
I'm,
God, I can totally
yeah,
feel it.
I'm in the chills. Yeah. So, but I better get a sweater soon.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wow.
I just find that that really assists me. When I had this dream last night, got up right away and I wrote it down. I usually don't do that anymore because I don't want to be bothered with interrupting my sleep because I'm older than most of you here. We didn't say my age, but I just been finding that through my dreams, through my allowance, through my surrender, I meditate every day. I have a jacuzzi that's built for one and a half. It's not a party jacuzzi. So I have a speaker near there that I play a lot of Bashar's channeling. I like
Yeah.
Bashar. I follow him. I saw him in Sedona. So I like his music. I like the Beethoven Seventh Symphony, the second movement with the different hertzes that he plays. So that helps
Mm-hmm.
me to allow my frequency. And as we go through these times to, rise and vibrate
Right.
higher. So
It's so true. It's so funny you say Bashar. I was doing a session with Kristen Newman, who's another aligned professional in spirit calling, like Tina Marie. And the first thing she said to me was, Bashar is here and he's telling you to trust your channeling. I was like, and I was like laughing. It was very, very funny, but I like him too. But
that's who he is.
yeah,
I mean, he walks the walk. I know he's a channeler. To me, he looks like a hybrid, but
he
he walks the walk. So I
does.
hope that he's true and honest to himself.
Very much
I
so.
believe
Very
that
much so.
true to be true as well, the hybrid
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
aspect. To me, from what I see, it's an aspect of
mhm.
him and his collective.
It's
Right.
really cool. It's very cool.
Thank
Okay.
you for sharing that,
Yeah,
though.
that's super helpful. But wow, I'm still getting the major chills and the major.
And that's one of the ways that people can know that they are getting an intuitive hit is that
Mm-hmm.
those chills come in or you feel that pressure. Sometimes you feel that tingling sensation. So those are definitely other ways that your intuition comes in.
And
Uh,
everyone's different, right?
absolutely.
Everyone is different. Anyone else, or anyone else want to share or just
I can
Michael?
say something.
Yeah.
Um, I get twitches like when Samira was talking and you were saying you're getting chills. I'm getting twitches,
Mm.
and
Interesting.
since last year when I started meditating more and meditating, trying to feel into the body because I'm fairly new at this. I notice that my body will twitch sometimes, and sometimes I have an involuntary breath. And I go, am I
Oh,
trying to channel something or something? I don't know. It's like I go like that, like something. I don't know if that's a twitch or, but
Interest.
I don't know. I said like I should just research that because maybe it's Tourette's or something because my daughter has
no,
Tourette's. But
No,
no, don't go there. No,
stop it.
that it can be that you actually are taking in more expansive energy that's asking to be absorbed or
yeah,
taken in and then expressed. I don't know if
yeah.
you then express anything differently or you say something differently, but it can be just that kind of like, you know,
Yeah, but it's like it's
taking it
totally
in.
random. It's like just sudden, like for a split second. So,
Mhm.
Hmm.
but I'm a manifester 5/1. So I I'm very intuitive. Like it's spontaneous knowing, like spontaneous. Like
Yeah.
for example, I went home to get a package at my door. Just takes me 10 minutes to go home from work here. And then as I'm driving out, I'm going down the road. And I says, no, you got to turn back and check the mailbox. I did. And there was another package in my mailbox because I had a strong urge to go back and
See?
check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. You
So,
listened.
That's your
yeah.
that's your claircognizance too,
Hmm.
Yeah.
knowing. This is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
knowing
Because
that's
I said, I'm not
yeah,
going to ignore this. I'm going to go back and check.
Can I ask you a
absolutely.
question, Michael?
Yeah.
Just when you get that twitch or that thing, I know you say you meditate. Do you also work on clearing your chakras from the root all the way up?
Yeah. In the
You
morning.
do? Okay.
So I just started doing meditation for the past 30 days. I do my clear my chakras in the morning, like between 4:30 and 5. And then I do my new meditation, which is 20 minutes of a mantra meditation, and then I do 20 minutes at night. So I'm doing like
Mm,
basically almost an hour a day of meditation now. And I noticed that I'm getting more refinement of my intuition because of that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're slowing down the mental energy. You're it's not that you're clearing it away, but you certainly are slowing it down
Yeah.
so it's not at the forefront and you're running a whole bunch of programs. And then when you get silent, that's when you really get to hear.
Yeah.
That's when you really hear everything that's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. That's cool. Look how good you're getting.
Yeah.
Trying to.
I know. I know it takes practice. It doesn't just happen. I mean, it does. You have to quiet the noise, right? And really listen and
Yeah.
trust. That's the hard
I'm
part.
not I'm not successful at trying to have all these thoughts going through and everything else. And so I just go with the flow. Sometimes I'm really squirmy at night. I'm like, "Ugh," but you're just learning how to do it.
You
Yeah.
do. Like
Yeah.
Samira says, allow, right?
Allow,
Yeah.
surrender.
Surrender.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's very true.
And your background really goes with who you are, Michael.
Right.
Well,
It's
that
very
one,
interesting.
that's last year. I'm Cobalt Blue. I dreamt Cobalt Blue last year. It's
Mm.
Archangel Michael. And then I went on a Cobalt Blue fetish last year, and I found that like I have it beside me on my wall at work here. And I found that flower of life as I love it because
Mm,
it's has Cobalt Blue in it. So
it's
yeah,
beautiful.
thank you.
It's
Yeah, thank you.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes me happy. All right. Well,
Jeannie?
no, Jeannie. Yes. She's gone.
No, I really just see a lot of angel numbers a lot. And that's pretty much what comes through for me is there will be times somebody's talking to me and I'll look up and it'll be 1111.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm thinking about doing something and it's 222, or just out of the blue, all of these numbers just kind of come to me. And I know right before my sister passed, she said she had visions of this number 354. And so I was like, well, let's look it up and see what it
What it
is.
means. Yeah.
Yeah, see what the meaning. She said, do they really have meanings? And I was like,
Yeah.
absolutely they do.
Yeah.
It's
So,
cool. It's cool.
yeah.
You know, I was told with the angel numbers when I first started was when you see the 222 or the 111, what were you thinking about at the time? What were you doing? Like what, so that you can apply it? Because I used to be like, oh, there's an angel number and move on. And I was told, stop. What were you doing? What were you thinking about? What were you doing?
Yeah, absolutely. I get those too. And for me, oftentimes they feel like confirmations.
Mm-hmm.
Confirmation of what you're saying, Dina, something that I am thinking, doing, saying, and it's really there. Or even just a note to say, okay, go look this up and see what this means, and that somehow you're being encouraged. But that is intuitive that you do that.
Yeah.
It's a encoding that helps open up more to that information that's coming through for you. It's great that you're listening to it too.
Yeah. It'll expand.
If I have a pen, I'll write down what I was thinking or what I was doing or what was going on or the conversation that I just had or whatever it is, and I'll write it down if I have a pen and a piece of paper with me.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I try to remember, but then, it goes by the wayside and it's just like, okay, well, I remember I seen it, but what was I actually thinking?
Mm.
But I do meditate sometimes 2 to 3 hours at a time. So
Wow.
Oh boy, I
That's
could hear
great.
my husband saying 3 hours. Oh boy. I have a question for Tina real quick with numbers.
Yeah.
So we all choose our own parents. We all choose what we're going to do, our own soul path, our soul contract. I have three British grandchildren. One came in at 5:44 a.m. The second boy came in at 7:44 a.m. And then the third one I could tell you in a minute. This is a girl, but what do you think of that? What
I
is
think that's amazing. Now, I don't actually follow I see the numbers and I recognize the numbers and I go look them up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that is significant. To me, that feels very significant, and that it got your attention does too.
Yeah.
Did you look those up by chance?
No, I didn't, but I'm going to write myself a note to look up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
5:44, some 2 hours later.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I mean, that's got to mean something. I do know that the fours sometimes were associated with Archangel Michael.
Uh-huh.
I remember that from when I looked them up once, but it was he's associated with the fours.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's cool. I mean,
I also had this feeling when I channeled, not about the numbers, but just that there are encodings in our own DNA that we've built in before we incarnate, and that sometimes those numbers are actually triggers. But when I mean triggers, I don't mean like triggers and in the negative sense. I mean triggers as in like, let's get started, some type of an alignment of sorts. And yeah, so I find that they're extremely helpful. And I take that moment that Dina said, I take that moment and I really just, I take in whatever it's showing for me or whatever it's saying to me. Also, just the moment that I know something just happened within me. So I take a moment to appreciate that I recognized it.
that is really cool. I love that they had the fours come in. I mean,
Mm.
that's unusual to have two births from the same with the 4 4. So I would definitely look that up. I'd be
Yeah.
all over that. That is so cool. Thanks, you guys, all for sharing. So I think,
It feels like an alignment of some sort.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like there's something holding some
Uh-huh.
thread of meaning there. But I have to ask though, the girl, what did she? Rose is like, someone ask about the girl. You said that there was a girl too. Did she come in with Samira?
Mhm.
What was?
11:44.
No.
Wow. I love that.
No,
Wow.
I'm getting chills now, Dina.
I'm totally getting.
It's like they're in London and there's a great astrologer that I follow from London, and I'm thinking like I got to get an appointment and figure out what this all means.
Yes, you do.
that's really kind of weird because when my daughter had her twins, she had her boys were early. Her boys were a couple of weeks early, and they were born May 22nd.
Uh-huh.
And they're twin boys that are fraternal twins. And her sister, my stepdaughter, had got pregnant like a month after she did. Well, a few months after she did. And she was due in September, and she ended up having her boys, both fraternal twins, on June 22nd.
See?
Mm.
So my daughter had hers on May 22nd. My stepdaughter had her fraternal twin boys on June 22nd. Each one of those were a day after the full moon.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
my
for some reason, I feel like they're like riding in on some
Something.
type of wave, of energetic wave that has that particular. And when I think of those numbers, I think of that like as it's a frequency band, right? So it's not like it's a frequency band. And so I feel like they're riding in on that frequency band, and they're just different enough for whatever it is that their life purpose or their life experience is about to
About
be.
to do.
It's just slightly different, but it's the same frequency band. And for some reason, I'm getting that. It feels like they're on that frequency band. They will be able to support each other in ways that others cannot.
yeah.
And I know that, I know that might sound anyway, like for twins or something like that, that's kind of a common thing. But there's something about the frequency band that they're riding in on,
Yeah,
slightly
because it's
different.
two. And
Yeah.
there's two of them, and
Yep.
they're born on 2/2.
Yeah.
And so for
That's
me,
interesting.
and the second one, when he was presented to us the first time we ever got to see him, and the nurse sent us a picture of him, he was sitting in the lotus position.
Oh,
Yeah, he was only 3 pounds and 14 ounces, but he was sitting
Oh,
in
wow.
this position, and he is such a thinker. He's a very calm baby, and he just looks around, and he just thinks, he just looks and he observes, but his brother is the doer, and he's the thinker.
oh,
And so when
Wow.
those two boys were born, when I was holding them, and still when I see them, because they're in Colorado, I'm constantly whispering in their ear, don't forget why you're here. Don't forget
Oh, I
why
get
you
chills.
guys came.
oh, can I ask you to change that to remember?
Remember.
Yeah,
Remember why you came.
remember. Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
positive, yeah.
There you go. And then that way they'll keep it in their head as
Mhm.
remember.
I
Oh,
love that. Michael is 8:44 a.m. born.
8:44.
Very This is just strange.
That's a lot of fours. A lot of fours happening
Lot of
here and
fours.
twos. That
Yeah.
is cool. That is cool. But it's weird. It's like almost you have a little baby Buddha.
So you think they choose their time? When you said the frequency, do they choose
Oh,
the time?
Yes,
absolutely.
yes.
Yeah. They choose the family, they choose there's a theme, there's a life theme that goes on that they come in with. And that theme gets worked through or gets experienced because to me the themes are about the experiences since everyone is source expressed. And so source is experiencing itself through your individuated source self. And when you choose, you get to choose though what that theme is and what you want to experience. And you can experience everything and anything. And you're on multiple timelines simultaneously. So as you're on those other timelines, you're experiencing other things as well on those themes. And it all just comes together into a unified field within you, within you, basically. It's all being absorbed, especially in this particular life timeline that we're on through this shift. It's all come
Shift,
like
yeah.
all together into this one.
It's Tina Marie did an Akashic reading for me and a while ago now. And one of my themes was acceptance.
Yeah.
And
Ah.
it really resonated because I was born with a physical disability. Um, And my mother used to say, which when we were arguing as teens, she'd say, "You chose me," one. So
Yeah.
listen, you chose me. And then she also used to tell me that I chose what I came in with, and that my physical challenge was that I came in. I was like, what? Like, as a teenager, why in the heck would I choose this? I get it now. And then when Tina Marie did the reading and it was about acceptance, I was like, wow, like it made perfect sense.
And then aligned with your multidimensional aspect, that made bingo. That was it right there.
Yes, the multidimensional aspects
Wow.
as well, because Tina Marie also, and Samara, I don't know what you saw behind me, but a lot of times there's mantis beings around me. And Tina Marie, when we hadn't met personally, and she never saw me from the neck down, and we were sitting there, and she said, "I'm going to tell you this." This is so off topic in a way, but it's so cool because
Yeah,
we're going. But it's so cool. I'll tell you really quickly. But she came in and said, "I'm going to tell you this because you are at a place where you can accept this. I know you're evolved enough." She's like, "There's a mantis being behind you, and his name is Tenon. And he said you were very connected, and you chose to come here and do the work, and he's up there guiding you at all times." But she said, he's telling me you brought something to this physical plane to remind you of him all the time. And so Tina sits there, and I'll never forget. She pulls up her left hand and she starts making like this, like with her hand. She's like, "Something, you brought something, something." And I go, "Do you mean this?" Because my left hand. Tina goes,
Mm.
she's
exactly.
like, "That's it." She's like, "All of your learning and knowledge is in that arm, and that is the thing." So it was just very cool.
Can you
Very
show
cool.
your
Wow.
left hand again, please, if you don't mind? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
You
it
have
just
so
reminds
much
me of
energetic energy going through there.
yeah.
there's a lot of bird, pelican, peacock stuff in there.
Mm.
Yeah, there's something going on. But
Yeah,
it
wow.
just started really it started tingling and doing all this weird stuff. And the council's like, "We're clearing it for healing so that you will be doing healing of some sort." So it's interesting because then Tina Marie said that's where all my, what did you say, Tina? Like, Maria, all
It's
my
all
knowledge.
your the because the aspect of you or tenon is he is it's not scientific, but he's certainly full of wisdom and there's a knowledge about that and the energy work that they do. And
Yeah.
so it's coming through there. And that brings up though, once again, though, Dina, it is about like your intuition and
Right.
knowing how it's coming through in a different way, right? It's coming through
Very true.
in a way that you never expected. Like you have these sensations in your hand, and all of a sudden, you're recognizing that something new is showing up for you.
Yeah.
And that is another thing that I want to share too, is that it does evolve. As you
Mm-hmm.
evolve, you awaken, you amplify, you shift your consciousness, more comes through. And
True.
it may surprise you. You just may have to, as, as Samara says, go with it.
Go
Just
with it. Yeah.
allow
Yeah.
it to be.
But you take a moment instead of just blowing it off. So I
Mhm.
guess it does tie in because it always is divine. Like everything always makes sense, right? Wherever we go, and you brought that up. If I would have just blown it off, I wouldn't have known. And then it was on my mind, and Pamela and I were channeling one day, and didn't the council bring it up? I didn't even verbally say it. They brought it up. It's
Sure.
just, but I noticed it. It was so profound, and it's actually doing it very hard. It's inactive right now. But if it's about being quiet, noticing what's different. And now I notice when I'm like trying to intuit, it's another signal for me. I feel it. It's almost like there's ants under my skin. It's a very strange feeling. But it changes and evolves, and that's part of recognizing, your intuitive hits and cues. which is
Right.
really, really cool.
I really
So,
appreciate the two of you because as you both are talking, you're elevating the consciousness in our little tight little circle here, even if we don't see anybody. But I
Right.
mean, I'm getting it again, but I just feel an elevation of frequency that's occurring right now in the moment that is just wonderful to take advantage of. And I just have a question for Tina. When you did her Akashic records, did you see anything mystical in her background, in her records? Mysticism?
you did. You probably don't
Did
remember.
I?
Yeah, you did.
Do you have an oracle in your background?
I had Oracle, witch, um, burned at the stake kind of a thing. Oracle, tied to the earth. Yeah,
Okay.
Thank
all
you
of
for
that.
sharing because it just keeps bringing us up higher and higher as you share.
Yeah, no,
I love it.
it was so dead on. It literally took me aback. I mean, I encourage any of you to do that with Tina Marie because and she's done it for several people I know, which has just kind of blown them away too. But it explained a lot. It explained a lot. And where I
Thank
had
you.
trained. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it was very, very cool. And it's written, so you can always go back to it. Sometimes I'm like in the middle of the night or I'll get a message to go back and read it. And there'll be always be something in there that you find. So, but there was a lot of healers, mystical oracles, all that stuff in my background. So,
Beautiful.
it's cool.
Dina, I think you did also get a message for about intuition today, right? I think
I
you were
did.
sharing that with me. You kind of started to share that with me before, and I said, let's include that. Let's include
Okay, okay. I
that.
will read it. I will read it to you guys. Again, I am just starting to get comfortable with my channeling, and I'm now doing it written. It comes through, and I type, and I write, and then go back and read it. So I will read it too. But it came through. I really went in with the intention of what message does our community need to hear specific to intuition for the new human. So as we evolve and ascend and then we go to new earth and new human, what does that mean for us individually as we approach this and from an intuitive perspective? So, all right, let me read it for you. You ask, how does intuition evolve with an emerging new human? Understand your planet is shifting new and remarkable ways. The veil is thinning and the threshold is lessened between the worlds. This shift must occur to usher in a new earth a new human, as you say, new human. You say new human, but know the power has always been within each of you. Intuition is not new, dear ones. It has always been yours. For you are just remembering and revealing your divine self, your gifts, and all you have been conditioned to forget. It is your sacred gift. As the planet shifts, humanity will remember their direct channel to higher realms. They will intuit at levels and embrace a new state of being, realizing they are done with the old systems, the old ways. For now, we usher in a new way of being. Let's say a golden age. You must know that not all will choose to embrace these changes. Some will choose to stay as they are, embracing fear versus love, reacting versus witnessing, for that is their path. Those who do the inner work open their hearts and remember will revel in humanity as one and will thrive. It is up to each to decide. You have all begun the work. You are already listening. Was it not your intuition, your inner guidance that put you here at this time? Have you not experienced moments of intuition, a sudden knowing, a deja vu, as you call it, and then hastily moved on without reflection? You have all chosen to be here during this magnificent transcendence of your planet and of humanity. You chose to witness a magnificent time. You came to this planet not remembering your divine right, your connection to spirit. Your intuition is a tool connecting you directly to spirit. Until now, you have moved through your days following the expectations of external. Busy, 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 yet disconnected and often not in joy. With the changes coming to your planet, it is now time to sit, be still, just be, and quiet the external voices that control humanity and your planet. You must do so. The challenges of your planet will necessitate this. It's time to center, ground, and be discerning. Choose to rise above fear, panic, and chaos and herald in this new way of being. Yes, remember, remember, remember. Have we not told you? You are a multidimensional, powerful, divine being. Now reignite your sacred gift of intuition. Trust, for this is the greatest contribution you can contribute to yourself and to your human family.
Beautiful.
That was it. And
Very
it came through
beautiful.
really strong. Like I could hardly type. I mean, obviously I'm not the greatest typist, but
Yeah, I want you to start recording.
I know. I think I have to start doing that. A lot less mistakes. So I thought it was a beautiful message that came in. It's like it's all right, right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think maybe the key out of that too is just that it's allowing once again, but
Allow.
also that it's natural, that it really is something
Mhm.
that we actually already have and are intuitive. It's just that we haven't been taught that, and that's okay, because that was part of the experience we came to have, was to remember how to. And that feels like now more than ever, so important.
Yeah.
So important.
I
Question.
could feel that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Um,
Hi,
how,
Tracy.
hi,
Hi.
traveling across America.
Oh, fun.
Um, how did you discern between intuition and channeling? And the reason I ask is because I don't know what I do. That's why I'm here. And all throughout my life, the thoughts just come to me and I just know stuff. And honestly, I just thought I was really smart for a long time. That was wrong. Um, but now, like if I would be talking with a friend and all of a sudden they're talking about their dead mother, and all of a sudden I'm giving them advice and I don't even know what I'm saying. The words are just coming. And when I got done, they're like, wow, that was really good. And I'm like, what did I say? I don't even know. So like I question, I'm like, is that just intuition and I'm allowing stuff to go? Am I channeling something? I have no clue, because I've never paid attention to my body. I shut everything down. It's from childhood trauma response, being with a narcissist for 20 some years. And I'm just now coming out and learning to trust myself. So that's why I wonder, how do you discern between intuition and channeling?
I'd like to ask you, why does it matter? What I want
guess
you to say, what I want you to think about just for a moment is, the less definition that we put on it, the easier it is for us to allow it to come through. So we could say the blanket statement is intuition, and we use the word psychic, we use the word channeling, we use the word intuitive, we use the word empath, we use the word medium. We have all these different words to describe such a specific way. But Tracy, you probably have more than one. And as far as I can see through that, you do have more than one. And it's, what I want you to do is just open that umbrella up and forget about it. Like, just let yourself,
Don't label.
try not to limit it, because if you say, oh, I'm, a medium, and then all of a sudden you won't feel comfortable channeling, or you might feel like something coming in intuitively doesn't feel, you'll want to put some type of definition on it. So I would just say, can you let those go and let yourself be really open, because these are all your natural gifts. And another element to that, Tracy, and I'll let you speak in just a moment, but another element to that is, when we talk about fifth dimension communication, we're talking about all of that. You're accessing multidimensional capabilities, multidimensional communications. And what you're doing is you're releasing yourself from the limitation of what 3D or 3D concepts are, and you go beyond that. And that's where you want to go. That's where you want to have a really great time, because in 5D, that's what we do. We are open to a whole plethora of ways to obtain, to give and take information. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. That's a really nice answer too, because I guess I was asking it thinking that I was wrong for not knowing the differentiation between the two. So it's better to, no, that just makes me feel really good.
Good.
I'm also
Erase
I'm a
the,
rule follower
Erase
too,
it.
because of the whole trauma and the abuse, it's like I got to make sure I do everything right.
sure. Erase the
So
lines.
It's
there's
and
no
I was
lines already. It's just all there. So
Exactly.
that's
I
really
was
cool to know.
I was laughing a bit because I knew what Tina Marie was going to say, because she said it to me too. She's like, quit overthinking it, over label, like just do it. And so I can tell, like, if it's intuitive, it's coming through, but um sometimes it's just a constant download, and when you really set an intention, it just comes out, and you kind of know. For me, I kind of know it's like an intentional channel when I'm literally writing and I don't know what I wrote at all.
Mhm.
And I don't remember. I just write, and it's coming through so fast. I couldn't possibly even think that fast. But if it's,
Mm.
whether I'm talking to a friend and giving advice, I've had the same thing, Tracy, where people are like, well, how did whatever you said, it was just like the most amazing thing. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's the same thing, but I'm still bringing it through, right? You're just bringing it through.
Well, so we're all energy, and all it is energy.
Mm-hmm.
So how is it that we use words to communicate? We use we use thoughts, we use touch, we use all kinds of ways to communicate. And if you think about that, you're a multidimensional being, and you've got a whole everything is energy, then energy is going to come through in any way that you allow it to come through. And
Yeah.
it can be expressed in any way that you want it to be expressed. So like I say, just fly with it, Tracy.
Go
You
with
go,
it.
girl.
Go with it.
To
Go
be
with it.
me. Love it. Okay.
It's
Thank you for that.
amazing. It's amazing. It's interesting though, Tina Marie, you had a really, as we talked about this, you had an interesting dream
I
that
did.
really, really kind of amplified, if follow your intuition or don't, what could happen. And it was really visual. You should share that.
Okay, so I'm walking on the left side of the street, and it's night, and it's not well lit, and I'm trying to catch up with some friends. I think my group that's on their way home, and I have a small backpack that's on my back, and I see these three men. They're not homeless, but they look a little scroungy, a little edgy, a little dangerous. And I'm concerned, but I try to act normal. What's funny is that in real life, I had some similar experience, and I think that kind of came into the dream a little bit. And so I couldn't cross the street because I didn't want to get their attention, and I didn't want to stand out because I didn't want them to, go across the street also. So I decided to walk right through them, right between them, because there were three and they're kind of taking up the whole sidewalk. I walk right through them. And as I do, one of them lines himself up with me and starts walking at my pace. And I'm walking at a pretty fast clip. He's asking me questions, and I'm trying to look over to acknowledge him, and I'm answering the questions. And he's just kind of going. And all of a sudden, I stopped, completely stopped, intuitively stopped. And I looked down and I see that there was this huge hole, like like the separation of the sidewalk. And it was bottomless. It was dark. It was bottomless. And I realized that he was trying to distract me, and with the hope that I would definitely fall into that. So without a beat, missing a beat, I just went, oh, like that. And then I leapt. I had to take a leap and actually go across, and I made it to the other side. And he didn't follow me. He stayed back there, and I felt happy and safe, and I was good to go. So when I was writing, journaling my message then for the dream in the morning, I got contrast balance feels threatened as there are distractions that keep you from seeing the gaping hole of separation from one side to the other. Yet it is our intuition that stops you from falling into that gaping hole. You crossed over to the other side already, and you are safe. Many external events feel divisive and distracting. While you don't have to hide from it in fear, you can confidently keep walking through it while automatically fully trusting your intuition, for it is natural to you. You are able to jump or leap into the other side of higher frequencies to continue your earthly journey. And what that made me just think of was how easy it is for us to doubt, to carry that self-doubt and let that become the distance between us and feeling very comfortable with our own intuition and our own abilities, and distract us. Whenever we're distracted by what's going on externally, then we're not listening to the intuition, because it isn't outside of us, it's from within us that we get all of that.
I think that was such a great example. And it was so interesting how it came up around this topic because,
Right.
I've not listened to my intuition at times. And there are times it has ended up where I'm like, oh, I'm in the hole. Versus if I would have listened, I would not have been in the crevasse or hole or whatever it was that you said.
Right. Yeah.
Which is wild. So we all have it. And
so how do you Dina, how do you stay focused? Like, how do you allow yourself not to be distracted from the external that's going on?
So someone told me, I don't know, 5 years ago, probably now, that explain the analytical versus the emotional mind. And it's just so funny. I'm going to bring up Bashar. He also said, pretend you are a witness. So you're looking in two windows of the world. You see one window and two windows. In one window, the same thing is happening in the window, but you're on the other side. And he had said, you are just witnessing what's going on outside in the window. Oh, people are fighting, they're disagreeing, but you're not being drawn in emotionally. You're just, that's what's happening. And the example was, this mentor of mine said, Dina, if you saw a man walking down the street with a shopping cart, tattered clothes, dirty, filled with junk, what would you say? And I said, he's homeless. She's like, aha, that is your analytical mind putting all that you've learned onto that man. Instead of, there's a man, he's walking down the street, his clothes look like that, he's pushing a cart, he's a little bit dirty, he's got all kinds of fun stuff in his basket, and I'm just observing, but I'm not attaching meaning to it. That helped me tremendously to witness versus being pulled in. So now I watch everything as if I'm watching a play. And we are all just playing a role. So anyone that distracts me, even people that can used to enrage me, I'm just like, wow, they're really good at that. Wow, they're good. That had helped me so much. And I hope it helps someone else because it keeps me present, it keeps me out of the fray, and it keeps me centered in me and my world. In my world, things are beautiful. That's what I always just try to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to hide from it, but you don't have to ride the fear. And as you say, if you can observe it, just be neutral, then that makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, especially now. I mean, what's going on in this world, it's constantly practicing that, just pulling yourself back. And I don't have to agree with the behavior or things I'm seeing, but I don't have to get emotional about it. I just try to stay neutral, and that helps me keep centered, and it keeps my intuition flowing, and it keeps the channels clear. It's helped me tremendously, so hopefully it will help. everyone here.
Yeah.
How about you? Yes, tomorrow.
I can't wait, Dina, to see the end of the play. Sometimes I don't have the patience to watch a whole series like my daughter. She just reads the end of it, like what happened in
What
Maiden's
happened
Tale,
at the end?
Handmaiden's Tale. She didn't watch it, she just read the end. I am so excited to see the end of this play.
Yes.
Samara, can I tell you something?
What? So
I have.
I have fans outside because it's very hot here. Go ahead.
I have.
That's true.
I've seen it.
Oh,
My we would call it future self, but my new earth aspect, she came to me in a dream a long time ago, long before I could ever understand that. I've had experiences through sessions like a QHHT session.
Mhm.
I've seen it in my dreams. I've been channeling, for example, the New Earth High Council, and they have all shown me. And I even channeled a group called this was like just 20 years ago. I channeled a group called the
Is it the Galactic
Cities
Code?
of Light, the
Oh.
Cities of Light Council, and they had a journey. They had me channel a journey where you can go through to this frequency, into that frequency of New Earth. And the thing that I would say to everyone is we're already there. This is just a matter of our physical body getting adjusted and coming into it and integrating all of that. This is a big shift, but it's already so. It's already so. So if we could just kind of enjoy a little bit more and kind of learn how to stay out of the fear, then you can say, hey, I heard it from Tina Marie. We're already there. It's already happening. She said so.
Let's go with that.
as long as they serve the popcorn.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. I think we've got cookies there too.
Excellent. I'm there then. If there's cookies, I am all
Right?
in. Yeah. It's almost like we have to go through some of this to get to that amazing space. So yeah, it's
Well,
really
it
cool.
is. We do have to. I
Yeah.
mean, we chose that very specifically right now to go through this process, very specifically. And
Very
the more we keep waking up, Samira, it's like you said, everything we're saying is going into that collective consciousness right now, and everybody is, whether they're here or not, they get to experience that knowing in a different way, in some way.
And every time we have these discussions, it raises the frequency for the collective, raises the community, the spirit calling community, all of our work together. It's why we're all here. And it's just so much fun and so enlightening and uplifting every time we have these conversations. This is what we love to do.
Absolutely.
I looked at the time. I can't believe that time again.
Oh my goodness.
Zipping by us. And I know we're a little over, but it's just it's been amazing conversation for sure. So Tina Marie, any practices that just real quickly, that we might want to give tips of how to help everyone build their intuition, just real fast before we go?
Just to strengthen it, I would just say trust. Trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trust that it's natural. It's not something that is bestowed upon you. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to do a certain thing to make it happen. It's already naturally you. So all you're doing is allowing it to come through, allowing it and trusting that it is.
Yeah. And I would say to that, just what I used to do is just zip past it, take the moment, be still, be quiet. What am I hearing? What's coming through? What did I really hear and feel? And that helped me tremendously. So hopefully it will help you guys, but you guys are all on your way. Your intuition brought you here, which is amazing.
I would also say that removing our own divisiveness within. So stay focused on how we speak to ourselves, our self-love, and speaking that way. Stay aligned with your source self, and really just allow yourself to trust that it's coming through.
So can one of you quickly, the 4 people who are up on the top screen, anyone say a closing prayer?
I think we can.
Okay.
Tina, you're closing your eyes. Are you getting what? I'll let Tina. It looks like she's going to go.
Mm. Mm. As we open our hearts and we open our fields, we allow in what is for our highest and greatest good. We love and embrace all that feels divisive within us and externally, knowing that everything has a purpose. And we are here to embrace that, to dissolve all of that distance between. We engage in every aspect of our love, our self-love, and loving the world. Mm.
Mm.
And so it is.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Sure.
Beautiful. I have chills again. I have chills again.
So thank you, everyone, for joining us, truly, for sharing your energy today. Your presence was here. Even if we couldn't see you, we could see your name, and your
Could feel
energy
you.
was here. We could feel you. Dina,
And,
next month?
yeah, so next our normal schedule is the second Thursday of every month. We had to move it because of travel plans this month. So we will be back on July 10th at 3 p.m. Eastern time here. Love any comments you guys have. There is a Cosmic podcast or the Cosmic Citizen podcast group. If there's anything that you want us to talk about, or you're like, hey, I really feel we should bring this up, put it in there. We're happy to talk about it and bring people together to kind of raise the energy one more time. So we hope to see you guys all here next month, which will be here in a blink of an eye.
Thank you.
Truly, it
Is
will.
all.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys. So remember, you're beloved beyond measure.
And you can't get it wrong because it's already so.
Yay.